Welcome to Story Ideas on the Fly, where we choose a random prompt from a hat and try to develop it into a story idea. Shall we see what it is today?
Sure.
7 days till everything ends.
Okay,
Okay.
pre-apocalypse.
Pre-apocalypse, yep.
Pre-apocalypse. You don't get, well,
I
guess
generally
you
do post-apocalyptic, but so pre-apocalypse. What is going to cause the world to end?
Well,
whatever it is, obviously it has to take 7 days.
Yes, and let's not do
Alright.
zombie apocalypse. Let's just
Okay.
no. We've done zombie
Zombies
stuff
are gross.
before. We've done
At
zombie
least
stuff
I think
before.
zombies are gross.
Yes.
So I'm
So
okay with
Depends
let's
on the
do-
zombie.
So
Yeah,
let's
most of them are gross. All right.
So what is going to cause the world to end? Is this a man-made disaster? Is it
Is
a
meteor? Would be one heck of it, or asteroid. Sorry, one major
Yes, is this a
asteroid. Is it or is it alien invasion or alien destruction? Is it nuclear war? But if it was nuclear war, why would we know it's 7 days?
Right.
Or do we know it's 7 days?
well, it could be some cosmic event where the world is going to be destroyed, and you've got
How much
people-
magic, how much science? Sci-fi, fantasy, both,
question.
neither.
Good question.
Sci fantasy.
Sci-fantasy, that's kind of what I was leaning towards.
I don't know. We could
So-
go that
No,
way.
I like science fantasy. So, in that case, one thing we could do, and...
Galactus route?
No,
Is it
not
Galactus
so
route?
much Galactus route. What if, because it doesn't say 7 days till the world ends, it says 7 days till everything ends. We could have some kind of interdimensional rift in space that destroys the whole universe in 7 days, if we want.
Ah.
So,
That's
I have some ideas.
dramatic.
1 second. Okay,
See, you could have somebody that your story is about a team of scientists with a few bodyguards and stuff who has to go into the rift and figure out what's beyond it and how to shut it down.
do we want to turn this into a time loop story?
We haven't done that yet.
We
but
haven't done
I'm
that
not-
yet.
Those are very hard to write and write well, I think.
Yeah. It's really
they're
hard.
not hard to
That
write,
actually
but they're hard
does
to write
sound
well.
really fun.
So let's go
But it
with
gives
it.
us a
It's
great way to do
interesting.
7 days. Because if we start off, we have a team of scientists. They find this anomaly in space.
Uh-huh.
And then over 7 days, different things happen. And on the at the end of the 7th day, the universe
The
gets
universe
destroyed, and it
gets
goes
destroyed.
resets to the first day for them. And that's when they realize they're in a time loop, and if they don't do something, the universe is going to end.
So they
Right.
get to try to figure out.
But they can't have an infinite number of tries.
Well, they may not know how many tries
Right.
they do, depending on how you do the time loop.
Yeah.
They
Well,
don't
you could
usually
have it
tell
so-
you how many time loops you get.
Well, you could have one thing, have it just be that each time they go back, they just keep noticing. They get headaches more and more often, and they're going, wait, so does that mean our brains might be degrading each time we're going back?
Yeah, there's something that's going to make it so that they can't withhold the time. They can't withstand that much time traveling. So if they don't eventually do it, they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now I just need to figure out what this anomaly exactly is.
This
Tachyons?
Well, this would be
The rift
something.
in the fabric. of-
Tachyons, theoretical
You know, I
particles
know.
that move faster than light.
Yeah, and they move backwards through time. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. Okay, so what if you have a
Tachyon generator?
tachyon burst? But
Oh,
what are theoretical ways to create tachyons?
Oh, theoretically, there are, we don't know.
Right. So what if? So maybe a black hole white hole combo could make it or something.
I don't know.
Black hole and white hole collide.
All right.
Actually,
Who
are they
owns
the
rift in
same
this?
black hole white hole? Because they're the same black hole and white hole. That would have crazy implications that we have zero ideas what would cause. Because that would end up making it so that space time itself would fold in on itself. Would that create another universe?
That could explain
know.
everything. Black hole, white hole. Okay, the
Black hole and white hole are colliding, causing a new Big Bang in the middle of the universe.
what's a white hole?
White holes are reverse black holes. Instead of absorbing everything around them,
It
they keep
spits it out.
expelling energy.
Okay. It's like black holes, I know. White holes. You're being racist.
So it's like a Big Bang.
This is we have no idea what would happen. So
Okay.
basically,
We like those. We like
exactly,
that.
we can
And
do whatever we want.
want, you know?
Okay, so
Okay.
there's time loop. I don't know if you. I don't there are different ways to do time loops because sometimes they get 100 tries or however many they want, but they just and you just skim through 50 tries later and we still are nowhere closer, and
It's
everyone's
something where we'd be wanting to look through every try. Because
Yeah.
every
Right.
try, they're making
They're
slight
getting-
progress.
Right, they're getting new clues.
Okay.
They're seeing something new.
Yeah.
And so part of the fun of this book could be giving
Mhm.
the readers clues and
It's a
letting the
mystery.
reader trying
helping
to
them figure out
how
what's
do
going
they
on
get
and how to
right,
solve it.
how do they get it?
Mhm.
Who's really
Which-
behind this? Now you could do this a couple of different ways. You could have some evil person involved in this that they have to defeat at the end. You
If
could
you're going
have
with the black hole white hole collision, it's probably not really being caused by someone because moving those kind of bodies is
but
really
you
difficult.
could have somebody that is preventing them from doing what needs to be done to stop it.
What you could have,
Ooh, I like a traitor.
I know-
type
well,
story.
I know you're not. I know that that it's generally best to have a villain in a story, but a lot of the times in time loop stories,
The
you
time
get
loop itself is the villain.
Yes.
well, and you get villains who are causing the problem because of some kind of internal issue that they're having that eventually the heroes figure out and instead and help them instead of causing them to make things worse.
So you help
So
them
you could-
instead of you have to destroy.
Yeah, so
them
you
at the end.
could actually in this situation have a sympathetic villain who
Yes, you
is
could.
causing this rift or who is not
Wait a second.
letting it be fixed.
Here's a random idea. So if we go with the idea that this at the time loop itself is caused by tachyons, then what that would suggest is that why these people are caught in the time loop is because the tachyons are melding with their brainwaves, going back in time, and then making and rearranging their past thought process to match their present thought processes. Which, if that's the case, this likely wouldn't just be covering like a single person. It would probably at least be covering continents.
Yeah, I'm imagining
Which
an
would
entire
mean-
ship of people.
Which would
Yeah.
mean you'd have a whole lot of people just rewinding time, which would likely make it so that you would have if we're having this start on Earth, then you'd have a bunch of an entire continent of people who are
Mhm.
just going, I don't care if this thing ends anymore. We've had this looming threat for like 20 cycles now. I don't care if we actually die this
Well,
time.
you could
we
have-
just die.
if you want to
instead
throw
of-
Yeah.
in, and I wouldn't some villain
Mhm.
this way. You could also put someone in who kind of is going. I want it to all to end. This world hasn't been good to me. This life hasn't been good to me. This,
Yeah.
let's just wipe them all out with me.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go. Let's just take them all out and try to stop them. You could do
Mhm.
that.
Or you could have someone who is not specifically going, oh, I'm depressed and I want to take everyone with me, but you could have someone who is depressed enough that they want this to end. And that intention is somehow
Or you could have someone who's found a way to
If
end
you
the time
have-
loop, but to escape the time loop, but only through death type thing. So
Yeah.
permanently ending everything instead of
Mhm.
letting the time loop.
Because you could have this where I don't know, the thought patterns or the emotions or the something about what people are thinking or feeling is affecting the
is affecting the
affecting the
time
situation
loop, and
too.
the more discouraged these people get, the more afraid they get.
the stronger the
The more it limits how much they can go through this time loop.
Well, yeah, I think that the main limitation these people have with the time loop is that each time they're slowly going to degrade mentally.
So
that's not going to be fun.
Oh, not even close. Some of these people are going to go completely feral.
right.
If one of these people dies in the time loop, would they just not contain any of their memories the next time it occurs? Or would the next time it occurs, they're completely brain dead?
Let's make them just not
Better not
not
remembering.
remembering. I
Good
think
point. That would
makes a
probably
better
make
Which
more
might
sense.
actually cause more people, some of the people to go, hey, this isn't out. I can forget it.
Yeah, good point. There might be
this
people
is
who just
driving me
start.
crazy. If I
start
die, I
going-
just forget it, and then I don't have to deal with it, and it's everyone else's
Yeah,
problem.
there might
so
be
your
people
hero,
who start. Oh, okay, I've been through 3 of these things, and I know that it's an out where you can forget about the whole time loop if you just die. And so their solution.
Time to try. Okay, we don't really want to get, suicide as a solution and things because,
yeah, well,
you never
it
know
doesn't
who's,
fix the problem
yeah, and
because
you
your
never know
hero.
who's reading the book or what you're encouraging
Yeah.
there. I think you have to be a little
Well, no, I
careful
think
with
you
that.
want something that's message is very pro
Yes,
living.
that's not a good thing.
Your
Pro
heroes
living.
would be the people who would not be doing that because
Your
they would go,
heroes
no,
would
we
be the
have
ones
to
who are
keep
going. No, we
going
have
through
to
this."
build
Yes.
upon each failure until we figure out exactly how to do
Yeah,
this.
I'm just saying if you
Mhm.
want to go with, hey, there was people that are, off killing themselves, that is something that is mentioned, not something that's well
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is kind of a cool
Interesting.
idea, very, very
I
different.
kind of picture this, on a spaceship, that this is the science team that was, in the area at the time that the rift showed
I
up.
like
and now
it being
they're-
a very large spaceship.
Yeah, a
with,
large spaceship,
like,
Enterprise level.
thousands of people
Okay,
on it.
Right, so you've got a science team, you've got, all kinds of different teams on here. You've
That's
got
gonna be
your,
fun.
I think it could. So who's our hero?
Is it your captain?
If we want a hero, we need someone who might have some way of trying to escape this loop. Probably by trying to trap themselves in a pocket dimension.
I kind of like the captain being the hero.
That can make sense.
I
Well,
kinda
this
like
is
the
one
captain.
that would lend itself well to multiple heroes too. You may have
Yes.
a
Yeah.
main hero, but I think you're going to spend a lot of time on several of your heroes, your
Yes.
scientists and your engineers or your whoever.
The reason I say your captain is your main hero is because he is the one that is in charge,
yeah.
and you can't.
So it's his
It's
responsibility.
his responsibility.
ultimately to make
He's
this
bearing
work.
the weight. He's the one that Hey, I make the call that costs people their lives, and you can write a story where the main hero is not the leader of the group. But you notice generally when you go the 5-man band, it's the lead. The hero is the leader, and then you got your lancer and your
Mhm.
big guy. What's fifth? Or am I forgetting it?
Smart guy.
That smart guy. That's one I left out. Okay, but it is really hard. But I mean, I've done it. Look at Rejected. I mean,
Yeah.
It's really hard though to have your main hero not be the leader of your group, and the captain is the natural leader of this group.
Yeah.
So
There was a leader in Rejected?
yeah.
Kind
Well,
of.
technically, Nightcrawler would have been the leader of the group.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But it's centered on
right.
a lot of the.
But he's not the main hero. He is, oh gosh, a book where Nightcrawler is the hero. Okay, guys, Rejected. Go look it up on our website, debunking.com. It is, interesting. You've never seen
pretty
anything like
wild.
it. Okay, so
We had lots of fun.
yeah, tons of fun writing that.
All right.
I totally forgot what I was saying.
So I think this has a lot of potential with a group. You've got a lot of relationships you can navigate and characters you can develop and a lot of science you can play with or sci-fantasy,
When
science.
you have black hole, white hole mixture,
Fantasy.
that might actually end up resulting in a naked singularity, which has all kinds of problems because naked singularities, they can just do anything.
Exactly.
Literally anything.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, let's just make something move faster than light. Why not? Let's just make a Tyrannosaurus appear out of nowhere. Why
the
not?
mental state-
Let's just make it so that everything in the vicinity turns into carbon. Why not?
Since this is a little bit science fiction fantasy, could your could the mental state of your people play a factor in what happens in the singularity?
Okay,
I
if you
like
want to
seeing
do that,
something
then
slightly
it's probably
different.
psionic.
I like the idea of it specifically said 7 days.
Mhm.
So let's just not just make that a time limit. Let's have something different happen every day. So
Okay.
on day
Right,
one,
because
when
this
they
is complete randomness. If you do the
So,
same thing multiple
on the
times,
first day-
it would probably result in
Okay,
different things.
yeah.
no, 7 days. 7 days from the time they go back to the time it ends. And during those 7 days, have weird things happen. So on the first day, the holes touch, the two holes start touching, and I don't have anything super interesting for there. On the second day, there's a giant energy spike of just everything coming out. Heat, material can just form out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look!
Some states have.
It's like, okay, so 2:30 on the second day, a random chunk of granite appears right there, so you might want to avoid that in the future.
All
type
right.
thing. On the third day, they kind of do the exact opposite, kind of starts to collapse. Everything goes dark, it becomes really hard to see, and things disappear. Fourth day, gravitational waves flood throughout everything, so gravity starts flipping around randomly.
All over.
On the fifth day, transmutation. Things randomly shift from one chemical to another. You might even have
Nice.
people like have stone form on their arms and
Here's
stuff.
an interesting thing too.
I don't have 6 or 7 yet.
Because they
No,
do-
7 is when everything ends. But
Right,
yeah.
we don't have to have them go through all 7 days and then flip back. They could, at any point they die in here, their ship explodes, they flip back to the day
Mhm.
one. And then so
So
now
then
you
they're
gotta
trying to
have
get
them
to
say,
days-
then you get almost, I mean, it wouldn't feel
Well,
like a
if it's
video
something
game, but this
where-
thing where they have to conquer kind of each day to move forward in the,
Mhm.
yes.
Well, the problem I have with having it so that if they make whenever they die, they go back, is what happens if one of them dies? Do the
Mhm.
does
Well, I think
does
if
he
one
go
of them
back,
dies, then
and
they
then
just
everyone else is just
No, I think that they just show
us
up
goes
on the
back
next
with it,
iteration, but they don't
or-
No,
remember
as soon as
anything.
as soon as one person dies, they're basically in stasis. They go back, but everyone else goes back when they die. So if the whole ship dies, they all go back and stuff. So that person will remember up to the point they died, but not past that.
Okay, that could work.
Okay.
Yeah. You
Actually,
could definitely,
interesting.
you could do this as a video game. It would make a fun game.
Yeah, it would make a fun video
Good.
game.
I need a
could make
good thing
an
for day
interesting
6 though.
movie,
Something
too.
really crazy.
Okay,
Too bad I don't have the budget
Okay,
for that.
what you were saying what all could happen, you said random things already.
literally
struck that.
anything.
Yeah.
To
I like the idea
transmutation.
of transmuting people where they start, they may even start gaining
Oh.
abilities.
They could gain abilities. They could also kind of do things like switch.
Ooh, switch bodies? That's always
Yeah,
fun.
switch people around, and so you're me, I'm you, whatever. And
Nice.
getting in, that could be just kind of weird.
Yeah, you could get
And
all
fun.
kinds of crazy by the end of
I
this.
think by the longer
Or
you
they
go,
could
the
gain
weirder
powers.
things get.
Uh-huh.
They could gain powers. Okay, I think this is a good idea. We've got a hero.
Mhm.
What's he like? What's his captain like? Is he more the Captain Kirk? I'm on the away team. Is he more the, make it so
Yeah.
I stay here, you do it? Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a Star Trek fan. Yeah, Picard, exactly.
The only question I thought was hard was, do I like Cook or do I like Picard?
That's not hard.
They're
for me,
both
but-
good. They're both good, but Kirk, I'm an
Yeah, I'm a
original.
Kirk fan too. But,
Okay.
Well, a lot of the thing that's going to be going on here is you're mostly going to be trying to figure out how to stabilize everyone's mental conditions during this chaotic period, and how do you get the scientists to be able to figure out how to
Mhm.
get things done, which a lot of that would probably not be, I go on the away mission, because there's
Well,
little
there
you
isn't
could
really a
actually
lot
do.
to
There's
do
not-
on an
yeah,
away
a lot
mission
of away
in
mission.
this
Would
case.
almost all take. This would pretty much all take place on the ship.
It could be interesting if your captain was kind of not a very touchy-feely person, more of a just, we're going to get this done, everybody's going to be safe. I'm not, I'm not going to hold your hands and cuddle you, but we're going to get every man out of here alive.
Actually, you could do the entire finale of the story, have it be the main character and a few other people. Just, they survive through to the 7th day, and on the 7th day, they send a shuttle into the white hole and black hole, and and he thinks it even weirder there, and you could almost have it be an acid trip type level of weirdness. But have them somehow stabilize things. I'm trying to
Yeah.
figure out how, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe with something else that happened on a previous day.
Yeah. But
Honestly,
yeah.
the main thing you'd want to do is you'd want to have it so that instead of ripping space-time apart, causing probably vacuum decay, you'd want to
that's
have it so that
exciting.
instead you have it so that they connect and then collapse into themselves, forming a separate universe.
It'd
Okay.
be interesting.
And so they create a universe in the process of doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A new fresh universe.
So instead of
But
destroying the
Solo.
universe, they create a universe.
Just play God.
Actually, it might be funny if they, at the end, they end up going into it, manage to collapse it into its own universe, and now they're in this this ship is the only thing in this universe that is trying to decide its rules now, and now they're going to go start everything over.
Interesting.
That's
Okay.
a possibility.
Now,
You could definitely go that route.
yeah, you could go some interesting routes with that.
Yes, you could.
So, but we don't have time
What's
for
our
that.
hero like?
Yeah,
I could
so
definitely see him being the type that's very much a doer, not a talker. Like
Right.
very much, we're gonna get this done, which
I'm going
could
to
be
be
very interesting when the problems are mental and emotional and very abstract, because those would be problems he's not used to dealing with. So you could really have a character arc with him and really stretch him that way. But it would definitely take him a lot of figuring out how to, because how do you fix the problem when the problem is everybody's mental state, or when it's, we're trying to fix quantum I don't know.
Quantum entanglement. Yeah, that
Yeah,
happens on
quantum
the sixth day. I've
entanglement.
decided it's
Quantum-
quantum shenanigans.
Okay. Oh
Yeah,
gosh.
how
Things
do you deal
randomly
with quantum
quantum
entanglement?
tunnel
How do you-
through each other or
That's a very
entangle with each
hard thing
other.
for a. I think that would be hard for someone who is, we're gonna get through this, and everybody. I'm not gonna lose a man. Leave no one behind type of guy to figure out. Not necessarily
Yeah.
impossible though.
I'd like to see him, get a good love story and see him, because
Mhm.
even people that are very, we've got to do this.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, they're still
They
going
still
to
have
have that
feelings.
weight on them.
Oh yeah.
They're going to still have that weight on them. They're going to say,
yeah.
yes, it's my job. I, do things and people die.
I
but
think
it's
that would
still
be a
gonna
great
weigh on them.
opportunity for a love story, especially if he has a girl who is a lot more in tune with people's emotions, who's kind of going,
Right,
okay,
so we could
this is how
see
you
something develop. We doesn't have to start.
don't
with
just
the
try to solve the problem, try to understand
Right.
it first.
Right.
Understand the people, understand, I don't know.
But I'm gonna say you could have, she could have a lot of jobs on the ship, depending on what, where you
Yeah.
want to go with that story.
Yeah, it doesn't have
So
to be your
love-
ship
right.
therapist.
No,
but
it doesn't
could be-
have to. She could, be one of the cooks. She could be his, she could work on the bridge. She could be a lot of things. Okay,
logistics
right.
or
Okay,
something like that. Yeah.
When
okay.
you're in space travel, having a cook is honestly really inefficient.
Well, you gotta eat somehow.
Yeah, you would probably end up eating pretty disgusting food because you're in space. You don't have much
Space
room for
food.
luxury.
Yes.
You have a big enough
No,
ship.
but you could have someone who finds ways to make it, dinner time less disgusting and depressing, because if your morale,
So entertainment.
something like that.
All right. Well, we'll go have this discussion, and we'd love to hear your ideas.
Yeah, what do you
Any ideas for quantum stuff?
say? Or on these what are some of the
Yeah,
crazy
give us-
things this rift can cause?
Shenanigans. I'm sure everyone's got that on their mind, right?
The final day needs to be more than just vacuuming the cake, because that happens at the end of the day.
All right. What do you think
And
it should be?
tachyons.
Let us
Ooh,
know.
It could just be time shenanigans in general for the 7th day.
Oh,
When the tachyon emissions.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
there you have it. And we'd love more prompts for our hat. We'd love your ideas, and we'll see you next time.